This podcast of storytellers would like to acknowledge the first storytellers whose land we are recording on today, the first peoples of the Kulin Nation. We would like to pay our respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. We acknowledge them and their Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples whose culture lives on today in Nam, the city, Melbourne. Theirs is the oldest in the world, and their sovereignty was never ceded.
Hello and welcome to the Book of War, an Avatar Legends real play, the story of 4 runaways seeking the Book of War in a world without the Avatar. My name is Jesse Thomas and I play Minh FANG, the Foundling, him, a runaway from the Earth Kingdom who found a new home for themselves in the Northern Water Tribe while hiding from deadly family secrets. We're back. Here we are. It's a serious episode, everyone. Straight in.
So serious.
My Minh fact is Minh is a weeb, but for books and fiction. So
you've never seen he's got a pair of lensless glasses that he just every now and again pushes up the bridge of his nose.
No, it's more like he like if there is like an equivalent of like comics in the Avatar world, which I imagine there is, but it is just like procedural in the newspapers or whatever, like the next chapter of the story that's being written in the newspaper or whatever it might be in this world, then he's like obsessed with that and like this fan fiction about...
Yeah, please tell me Minh writes fan fiction.
Yeah, I think he probably does. Maybe he tried to submit it and he got a pretty heavy, aggressive knockback and he's like, well, I'm never doing this again.
A cease and desist.
Essentially, yeah. So that's your Minh fact, everyone.
That's secretly why he left the Northern Water Tribe.
Like, yeah, hey guys, check out my fan fiction.
Check out this fan fiction about this amazing earthbender. Like, we don't earthbender here. And you're just like, fine, I'll take it elsewhere.
Dad, I need to leave.
I need to go find myself.
Hi, my name is Lucas, and I'm completely out of my depths here. Wow, that was amazing. I play Tomo, him, the Razor, a combustion bender who likes to keep entrees and secrets close to his chest, but is trying to redefine his place in the world. Tomo facts today. So here's the thing, like if something serious happens, I like to come up with like a light Tomo fact or something to like distract or whatever. It's part of the onion.
I was going to say Lucas Charm, but onion also fits.
Yeah.
So today, I can't tell how serious this is going to be. I'm just going to play it safe, and I'm going to say that somebody has accused me of cheating at the dumpling eating situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to break down what actually happened. So when the hat went up, Tomo takes his chopsticks, his favorite metal chopsticks, and he pierced the dumplings. That's the key there. You pierce the dumplings, you get the excess oil out, and then you rip it apart into 2. Like, ching, and then you can take down one morsel at one half at a time, quickly and efficiently.
Without burning your mouth.
Without burning. Oh,
yeah.
That's a speed through the air, cools it down before it gets to your mouth.
Absolutely. And basically, you swallow that straight away. You don't let the chili linger.
You set Nuro up for disaster.
Nuro set Nuro up for disaster.
Yeah, sorry.
He saw the big boys doing it and said, me.
Hello, my name is Georgie Hazel, and I play Nuro, the Destined, they, she, he. Nuro is a child from the strange and beautiful boggy swamp. Due to the threat of war, Nuro had to leave the swamp, but there might be stranger things following them right out. And my Nuro fact for today is that they are amazing at shadow puppet shows, and there are a lot of upset kids in the swamp missing their bedtime story.
Oh.
Yes, but also the amount of toys that they get to keep rather than have stolen off them or that they have to trade
Oh
for
yeah,
things.
their hoard is gone. I reckon.
Well, imagine all the kids as well that Nuro didn't like and no longer having like nightmares. There's a ghost behind the thing. Like, yeah, Nuro goblining in a tree, like
Yeah, it's like it's a direct like scale. Like as shadow puppets go down, general contentment amongst the kids goes up as they can go back to being kids.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ted Darling. I play Banji the Guardian, he, him, a defector from the Fire Nation army who has instead chosen to use his strength to protect the vulnerable. My Banji fact, well, it's not really a Banji fact today. I just want to clear some things up. So, listeners of the last episode may have felt that Banji treated Iroh a little unfairly, given what we know about him. But Ted, the player, loves Iroh. Uncle Iroh is one of his favorite characters ever. However, Banji thinks he's a war criminal and was a child soldier who grew up under the reign of his family at least. And so that reaction was based on Banji's feelings towards the Fire Nation in general, not Ted's feelings towards Iroh. Because I love Iroh. But yeah, I think that it reflected a child soldier of the Fire Nation.
To be fair, I don't foresee any point where I am going to express what Iroh was planning to do with Hikaru.
Okay, good.
So it's fine. You keep living that character dream.
Yes, good. But yeah, just in case anyone was like, "Oh, Ted's really mean."
Ted was protecting.
Yes, protecting my ward. And speaking of, I actually have a +2 to my protector's burden. Because I got over 10. However, completely useless because Nuro is no longer my ward.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Let's see how that plays out.
Yeah.
We'll see. Hello, my name is Ash. I am the Grand Master of the White Lotus. Jesse just gave me a smirk like he's going to get it wrong, but look at me go.
Damn.
He's trying. He's getting more fan art.
I'll edit it. I'll edit you saying
Goose monkey. So I've been doing a lot of research this week about a few different things, and I've sort of expressed on this show before how hard it is for me to try and place like people's ages. And there's a lot of new information coming out with the new series and things like that. Turns out that like Avatar people live a really long time. That's why it's really hard to pick the ages of people. You know, I knew Kyoshi lived for a really, really long time, and apparently that's not like abnormal. There's a whole lot of evidence of people being like, yep, we're just really old. We've been around for a really, really long time. And you're like, okay. So yeah, fun fact, Avatar verse people just tend to live longer than others.
There you go.
Are currently flashback. It's daytime, so we know it's not now. And there is a lively tavern where people are drinking, mostly Fire Nation soldiers that look like they're off the clock. And we see a woman, very, very closely cut hairstyle, a little bit of a mohawk, and a fresh scar of a burn across her face. And she walks over to the bulletin board just to see what's new. And she reaches up and she takes down a poster that has Banji's exact likeness on it. Wanted for crimes against the Fire Nation. Ah, Banji, you treacherous sack of potatoes. Drink up, lads. We've got a snake to catch. Flashback to currently. Just to set the scene. Nuro, you are currently ensnared in some sort of netting that is being dragged along the sand. One end is on fire, and that is the end that one would presumably go to climb out. I feel that Tomo has leapt up because he is, you know, a very, very, a light sleeper, I would guess.
Yep.
So you're sort of up and at attention, mildly bleary-eyed, but pretty much ready to go. Banji. Oh, sorry, Georgie?
Nuro, pretty knocked out, right, from previous visions.
Oh,
so
you're awake now.
I'm okay. So I am awake. Okay. Well, I'd be freaking out.
Yeah, you'd be freaking out. Like you've
Yeah.
you've woken up in a net.
Wow, what's going on? Fellas, help!
Banji, you look over and you see a squad that not that long ago you would have called your family.
Yep.
Aye, Banji. You've been leading us on this merry chase.
Oh, bog.
Banji's just kind of almost in a bit of shell shock. You know when something happens, it's similar to actually when Zhao sort of revealed himself, where it's Banji spent a long time trying to stop this very thing from happening, and here it is playing out in front of him, and he doesn't deal with high pressure situations very well. So it's almost going in slow motion, and he's just flabbergasted.
So the people ensnaring Nuro, can Tomo see them?
Yes. So I will describe what they look like in just a second. I just want to know, where is Minh Fang right now, having sort of rushed towards this flash?
Yeah, so I think Minh saw the flash in the sky, and I think last episode I said I was going to investigate that. And then you clarified that it was actually back at camp. I think with that, he would have just thrown the supplies at Yanni and sprinted up the hill back to where the camp was.
Mm-hmm.
And if he runs straight into camp, I think he just sees Nuro in a net, he just sees firebenders, and I think he just goes straight in to fight. Like, it doesn't even consider anything else. He's just like, nah, let's go.
All right.
Running straight in.
We'll give that half a second. Georgie, I'm giving Nuro the trapped status. So that is yours for now. So, in front of the party, or more specifically surrounding the party to a degree, we have this firebender with the closely cropped hair, wielding two gauntlets. Banji, you will know all about these, but I'm not going to explain them to everybody at the table. So at varying points, if you call out a thing, I will give you a bonus to that. But until then, no one knows what these things do. There is another fellow that has sort of like a leather hat and goggles on, and he seems to be carrying a whole bunch of stuff that you just cannot identify. One of which looks like it's got a round tube with just fire, like almost glowing out of it. It looks very bizarre. Another one who is a little bit closer and ready to go. You've seen this stance before. It looks very, very similar to Boster's knife fighting style. And pretty much as of the point that it looks like a fight is going down, they set on fire. You have another person who's standing a little bit further back, who's wearing almost flowing robe style, and she has what looks like a staff with a burning end, actually at both ends. Interestingly enough, one end looks more swollen than the other, as in it looks like it's almost ready to... Look, there's no easy way to say this, on microphone.
Pew, pew, pew.
No, it looks like it's about to pop. It's just, yeah. There's also another one who is the one that currently is holding the rope with this net. They have a bow and arrow. Well, they have a bow, and clearly arrows aren't the only thing that they can fire out of it.
Sure.
And the last one is standing there, and you're not quite sure what it is that they do, but they look like they are ready to dance, literally. And these people are spread out in a formation. They're all sort of on one side. Sort of think, if the camp is a circle, they're on 180 degrees of it spread out, so they're not completely surrounding you, but you would have to pick one or another to go for. There's none really clumped together.
Yep. Tomo is going to target the one that is holding the rope. Is pulling the rope, I imagine, at this point, right? So Neuros is still in transit.
Yeah, Neuro's in transit.
Tomo would like to whip out a tonfa and just send it flying into that person, aiming for that person's hand, basically trying to break that grip and to slow down Neuros getting pulled.
Okay. In that case, I think that with what Jesse has said and what Lucas has said, we're starting a combat. Everyone pick your stances.
Advance and attack.
Yep, advance and attack.
I'm trapped.
You can still do things.
True.
Yeah, tell us what trapped does.
Okay, trapped, you are completely helpless. You must mark a combination of 3 conditions or fatigue to escape. Well, I'll leave it for now. But
there may be things that will affect that combat. But if there's something that you think that you might be able to do, if there's something you can do while trapped, you've got that as an option.
I will go defend and maneuver, because Banji, again, is still pretty shell-shocked. Just seeing his former squad, seeing Nuro getting dragged away after having dealt with a very stressful situation with Hikaru in the last episode. He's got a lot of feelings right now.
Got a lot of feelings right now.
Yeah.
I like to think that Nuro's probably calling out for you specifically as well. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to say.
Mark troubled.
I'm already troubled, but can I mark afraid?
Mark all conditions. No, no, there'll be time for that. Don't worry.
Cool.
Yeah.
But I think that would probably, if you do, I think that would maybe test my balance.
We'll see. I mean, it can be a balance test as we go. So none of them are defending and maneuvering at this point. Banji, what are you doing?
I'm going to seize a position.
Okay.
So as he kind of sees Minh Fang and Tomo ready to run in for a fight, Banji kind of shakes out of whatever it was that was preventing him from acting and is going to start running in to engage with a foe.
All right. Do you know which one you're going to engage?
I'd be going for... So Tomo... Well, we'll discuss what Tomo's doing. But I'd be going for the net. So Banji's not necessarily running in to fight anybody. He's going for the net.
Okay. You go to run towards the net and you see that there is a breach of fire that heads towards you. And as you go to move, you know exactly what's coming next as you dodge left and right, and the fire changes direction with you, but shoots past because you knew that it was going to do that. And Captain Hana comes up and says, "Aye, Banji, I see you haven't forgotten the tricks."
Hana, what are you doing here?
It's Captain Hana now. The question is, what are you doing here, Banji?
Let go of my friend.
How about we don't let bygones be bygones? We cut back. Only a couple of months ago. And we see this exact same team looking at a wall of fire. A fresh burn graze on, at the time, not Captain Hana's face. And the squad is in shock. And they're murmuring, why did you do that? What? He was leading the squad. Why did he run off with the target? And we see a steely resolve come over Hana's face. We cut back to advance and attack, and I will give you your Caesar position when this sort of round is through as to what you want to do from there.
Great.
Perfect. Jesse.
Minh is just going to run in. This is not like on the island for him, where he's like, oh, it's just a bunch of rookie firebenders. Like, as far as he's concerned, they're like full-fledged, hardcore firebenders. So he's just running in, and I'm going to roll my stance with passion. Oh, God, that's not good. That is a 4. I am going to
Shift your balance.
shift my balance 1 towards heritage. So
Yes.
I'm now on heritage +3, -3 unity. And
Oh my.
and I'm going to do smash. Minh runs forward and just leaps into the air. Sort of as he does, he pulls out his rope, and with both knots, like a knot in either hand, he just lands on the ground and just smashes into it and just disturbs the ground and makes it all cracked and rocky and hard to navigate. So I've smashed the ground underneath us to destabilize the environment.
Okay, and what is your ultimate aim for this to have done? Like,
Make it harder for everyone to move around.
Okay.
So like harder for them to escape, like
Yep.
harder for them to get around us. Yeah. And I think it's just like it's just out of nowhere. You know, he just runs in, out, smash, and he's just starting hard and fast.
Yep, works for me. Lucas, what's Tomo doing? Throwing this tonfa?
Well, smash as well.
Smash as well?
I want to smash the grip of the archer and his and the rope.
Roll for it.
That is with focus. That is a 9.
Okay. You can do that. So
I'm marking 1 fatigue.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, with that motion, I'm going to change it from trapped to stunned. So you are still in this net, but the net is now stable. 2 things to bear in mind. You currently, there is that side that is fire. So to get out, it is going to, to try and get out, it's going to hurt. Also, I don't know that you've got a lot of water currently available to...
I don't have any water available to me.
Yeah, so that's another thing to bear in mind.
I think Yeah, I think maybe they initially kind of search into the earth for it. Like they put their hands down, but we're in a desert, so there's nothing. So they're just like probably feeling very trapped right now. Like heavy breathing, just like keep it together, Nuro.
Tomo does exactly what he described, which was the tonfa comes, just knocks the grip out, and you realise that there is now, because there's that little bit of slack, I think the panic stops for a second, and this keep it together. Restore 1 fatigue, as if you are observing the situation.
And I think, initially they were gonna try and crawl their way out. They can't, so they still have their little bone knife.
Yes.
So
I was wondering if you'd remember that.
Yeah, so Nuro's gonna like stop, pat themselves down, grab it, and then just start sawing away at one of the ropes.
Perfect. We see the... did you have both tonfas out, Lucas?
I think it was like sort of like a pistol.
Like a quick draw?
It was like a quick draw situation, just like really...
Okay. What happens with you is as your arm is extended from having thrown it, the person that was standing there looking like they were ready to dance, faster than you can actually see, they have taken what looks like a whip out of their holster and they've quick drawn it at you almost. And it's wrapped around your wrist and ignited. You have a choice. 2 fatigue or a condition.
Oh, I'm angry, baby.
Okie dokie. Hikaru gets up and is currently...
Goodbye, firebenders.
and is currently groggily, like, looking at things. And you see Hikaru, you haven't seen this for a while. Hikaru inhales and gets ready to launch a gout of flame. And the one wearing the weird leather hat and goggles goes, testing! And this contraption that he has, he aims it directly towards Hikaru. And what happens is that both of them launch a gout of flame towards each other. And this flame just meets in the middle, and it's almost Dragon Ball Z style beams, like just meeting, and they are currently deadlocked in that. Hikaru is almost roaring during the process, and this person, who you will know, Ted, is called Ignis, is laughing maniacally. Because the ground is currently unsteady and unstable, the one with this staff flips it around, and as they do, you see it generate... Has everyone seen like fire twirlers when they've got flames on their stick? Imagine one side getting brighter and brighter, and it flings directly towards you, and this like fire burst is massive. Jesse.
Uh-oh. Spaghetti-o.
I'm in danger.
You have a choice.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Would you like to dive for cover or just straight up take this blow? I can tell you what each one does, or you can leave it a mystery. What are you feeling?
Is this like what Zhao had done earlier with his little hand bomb thing? Does it look...
More specifically, this just looks like a standard like fire bolt that a firebender would send, but it's massive. Like it's so much bigger than usual.
I think he would absolutely duck for cover. He's not going to tank that.
Yep.
He wants to continue fighting. He thinks it'll take him out, so he's going to get out of the way. He's going to duck for cover.
So yeah, you leap across this battlefield that isn't quite great. You take 2 fatigue as you leap clear of this massive thing, and you take the impaired status. The one with the fire knives, who Banji you will know is Talon, darts towards you while you were ducking out of the way of Captain Hana's fire blast. And you see them swipe up at you. Now, good news is you've been dealing with some fire knives lately, so you're pretty aware of what this is. They are still marking fatigue. And as a result, they get to use pressure, which for those playing at home, they are choosing an approach you cannot take. You cannot defend a maneuver next turn. They are trying to get a fight out of you.
All right.
And also, they take a swipe at you. You have a choice. Would you like to mark 2 fatigue, mark a condition, or shift your balance away from center?
I'm going to mark a condition. I only have 1 fatigue left.
Ooh.
And 2 conditions left. So I'm actually going to mark a condition. I'm going to mark afraid. Because Banji's scared. He knows what these people are capable of, and currently his friends are getting rinsed by them. So I will mark afraid.
Okay.
The good news is, I'll tell you the good news when it's my turn.
Well, technically, we're going with your Caesar position now. If you would like to roll, you can change your thing now that you know that your former ward and your current ward are both engaged. I'm giving you that sort of chance to do what you feel the need.
Sorry, so I'm rolling to seize my position.
Yeah, that sees the position that you started to move towards before.
So I got a 7 because actually with my 4 fatigue and 4 conditions met, I now have Martyr Complex.
Oh, finally!
There
You've
you go.
Which adds +1 to all my rolls, which is very handy because it went from a 6, which is a fail, to a 7, which is a mixed success.
there you go.
So that's how we're winning, baby.
I mean, if you take more things, doesn't it get stronger? Is that how it...
No, it's always just a +1.
It's always just a +1?
If you have like 8, it's like if you have 8 with conditions marked, fatigue marked, or highest principle, which is currently 0.
I see.
Yeah.
Right. So on your 7, what is it that you would like to do?
Yeah, this is pretty hard for Banji. I think because Georgie said that Nuro was calling out to Banji before, I think that would really... Like, he left this squad to protect Nuro, and Nuro is currently in danger. So I think Banji would, as much as his arm is tingling very badly right now, because that's what happens when Hikaru's in danger, he's going to run for Nuro. He's going to run for Nuro to get that net off them.
Okay. With that said and done, I would like everyone to move into the next phase. Pick your stances, please.
Okay.
Defend and maneuver.
Evade and observe.
Evade and observe.
Defend and maneuver.
Oh, okay. Okay, Lucas, you're up first.
Caesar position. I'm going to try to put myself between the bad guys and Banji and Nuro. Basically, like trying to form a human wall. Especially, even though I know one of my arm is restrained, I'm going to try to just outmuscle whoever's trying to hold me back.
Okay, roll your stance, please.
Wow. 13.
Oh, get him!
Well, I've got good news and bad news. The good news is that because this person has you entrapped within their whip already, they are spending 1 fatigue and they are removing your... Like, you go to move and you realize you can't. But on a 13, you get to choose something else from the defend and maneuver list.
Retaliate then.
Yeah, perfect. So for those playing at home, retaliate every time a foe intends to do something. It is now harder to do. So what does this look like, Lucas?
Yep, so it's coming out. The other toph is coming out. It's coming up to my face. It's my eyes locking on the eyes of this person trying to hold me, and I'm almost like getting ready to pull them in close.
Righto.
It's like I want this. You?
The darkness descends. I like it. Jesse.
Okay, I'm going to roll my stance first. I know I usually give some info, but I just want to see. I am praying for a 10 plus, just so you know.
Big money, big money.
Jesse, both hands. Trust me.
No, I stand by my principles, and they see me through. But
Oh!
that is a 10. All right. I'm going to... Oh, it's just great when you want something to happen and you get it. So I'm going to choose a mastered and a basic. So I'm going to do dust stepping. I'm going to step up into the air on dust and stone. So I think Minh, after smacking down and disturbing the earth, he's going to like start running, and he just sort of earth bends like pillars up for him to just to run up and go around. So he is going to become favoured and prepared. So he gets 2 positive statuses with dust stepping, which means favoured is I'm buoyed by circumstance, choose an additional basic or mastered technique in the next exchange, which is even on a miss, which is great. And I'm going to choose, and prepared, I take a +1 to an appropriate roll or avoid marking a condition.
That's going to be very, very,
Very
helpful.
handy.
Very handy.
Considering I have no room to move in terms of conditions or fatigue at this point. So I am going to, with this dust stepping, I am now moving to the side of this sort of semicircle of firebenders and seizing a position. I'm engaging with a foe to overcome a negative status or danger to establish an advantageous position or escape the scene. I am establishing an advantageous position because now I want them to be like, oh, we're there on both sides now.
Yes.
And it's like they can't watch both directions at once. They're going to have to do some prioritizing. And I think Minh, part of that is he just starts letting off some of those like stamp punch that he was doing with his mum back on the island.
Yeah, those cubes flying out. Yeah.
So he's just sending these cubes flying, giving them something else to worry about.
Yeah, I think that's great. And
Any foe engaged with me can mark 1 fatigue to block this technique, however.
Yes, the short answer is no. I don't think anyone's really close enough to do that. I think that what happens is because we move straight into advance and attack from there.
Yep.
I think that what we see is the one with this fire staff continues to twirl and it grows brighter and launches at you. And it's up to you, of course, but I think that prepared goes away as you were just like, yep, I knew this was coming, and so I was ready to sort of flip out of the way. And in essence, that wastes their attack.
Yeah, I think instead he sees this fireball coming and one of those rocks just goes straight for it and intercepts it, and that's his prepared. And
Yeah.
so he's not taking a condition from that. There you go.
Yeah, perfect. Excellent. That's nice narrative for me because 100% this is the ranged fighter that you've now closed the gap on while simultaneously belating their big old fireballs.
Wonderful.
We see Nuro currently trying to cut at their bonds slowly and calmly, but the fire is a little bit extreme.
Yeah.
It's really hard to deal with.
I imagine she's just coughing and spluttering and while trying to cut as fast as possible.
I think at some point you drop the knife just from heat, like it's getting so hot trying to cut through where you can. And all of a sudden, you see a hand come in and pick up that knife and go to free, like the last little bit that you needed to do. And Yanni smiles and says, "Go get him, sport."
Thank you, Yanni. I'll get somewhere safe. Ugh. These firebenders.
The flip side to that is that currently, under no pressure at the moment because they have numbers, the archer, who Banji you will know is named Striker, launches an arrow that pierces Yanni's hand. Ooh. And she lets out a yelp, puts on a brave face knowing that Nuro is right there, but then sort of like sinks back down somewhere where she's in cover and out of danger. Again, not a combatant.
Okay.
If you want, you've got that thing that allows you to change what you're doing.
Well, I mean, no, I already chose... I'm going to do that because I chose evade and observe.
Perfect. Talon goes to strike, just darting at you once again. And they are full of fire blades and coming at you. They are still not marking fatigue, so you get your choice. 2 fatigue, 1 condition, or 1 shifted balance.
So Banji would have caught sight of Yanni helping Nuro. So I'm actually going to shift my balance towards trust.
Ooh. Sorry, it's away from center. Is that correct?
I'm currently centered, so...
Oh, perfect. Yep, that's fine.
Very cool.
Excellent. I dig that. I really, really dig that. Captain Hana is holding her turn for a moment. We also see the Whipmaster continues to fight on. He is going to attempt to mark a condition on Lucas, or on Tomo specifically. So he's marking fatigue to do that.
Yep. And so I have to mark a condition as well?
Yes.
I'm going to mark afraid. Because this whole situation is triggering a memory of the last time somebody dear to him was in trouble.
Right.
And he is fast running out of options.
Right. Okay. With that, the last person on their squad to go is the engineer, who is laughing maniacally. And currently it's a bit of a dead heat between the dragon and him. And he goes, I'll see if this does it. And you see him like pull a lever and slap a button, and all of a sudden you hear and all this beam of whatever flame fire things that he's like shooting out of this gun, he is just getting stronger and stronger and actually pushing towards Hikaru.
Whoa.
Moving on. We flash back again to Hana, still with a fresh scar across her face that is healing but getting better. She is standing in front of Junior Lieutenant Zhao. She says, yeah, I know him. I served with him. And he ran off on us. Zhao says, do you know anything about the little kid, the dirty thing that he had with him? And Hana says, aye, it's top secret. But if you want that one too, that can be arranged. At which point, he says, Captain Hana, make it happen. They're somewhere in the Earth Kingdom. Find them.
So, Banji wants to run in. I'm presuming that when Nuro was taken, because they were taken while they were sleeping, or, barely conscious, they didn't have time to grab anything, but Banji would have had a water bottle. So I want to use my evade and observe to run in and use bolster or hinder to deliver a bottle of water to Nuro, because they've been coughing and spluttering and all that kind of stuff. I want to aid them.
Good news, you get fatigue back regardless, because it's evade and observe. Bad news, the water bottle might be empty. Let's roll and see what happens. Nine?
Wait, no, I add my focus as well. That's 11.
Okay. Yeah, you throw it, and before it even lands, it turns out that this was his secret water bottle that he had.
Sorry, it is 9 because it's harmony or passion. Harmony or creativity, not passion or focus.
I'll dial back. Yeah, you turf over this water bottle, and it has enough water in there that Nuro, a capable waterbender, would be able to utilize however they so desire.
Nice. We won. I'm sorry. Here, take this. Hopefully it will help. I don't know. Take it.
Nuro does, snatches it up. They're parched. Part of them wants to just gulp it right down, kind of, but they're kind of actually stuck right now because they've just seen Yanni get hit. That is very upsetting to them. Incredibly upsetting. So they, I think, would take that water, but not really do anything with it.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay.
Not for this second. They've got other things they want to do.
Captain Hana yells out, everyone! Attack formation 4! Banji, you thought you knew what this was, but they start moving in different directions to what you're expecting.
And actually, there's a little half a second where Banji actually starts to move and then catches himself and is like, that's not me anymore.
Oh, that's very good. I appreciate that. The exchange continues.
They are going to, they've chosen evade and observe, so I'm going to roll for that.
Yep.
That's all right.
Do I give Georgie a status?
You've freed, technically yes, stunned, and you have bolstered. Bolstered is, let's say you're favored.
Favored?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, okay. So first of all, I rolled, 9. I rolled a 9.
Excellent.
I'm going to choose bolster or hinder. Okay, so I'm going to aid a nearby character that is going to be Yanni. I would actually like to, if you would allow me to use that water to actually create, I would like to kind of pull her into a spot where there's maybe something at her back, and then kind of create like a crust of ice around her to kind of just like protect her.
I will mention, as much as I love this
Yeah.
character moment, I will mention she's managed to duck out of the way. She's not currently in danger.
Okay.
So not saying that you can't do this.
Yeah.
Like, if this is something that you feel really strongly about, by all means.
Yes, I think Nuro would very much so like to do that. But then if you would allow me with favored,
What conditions have you got marked at the moment?
I have troubled marked. I guess I wanted to also use allow me to use one of my like destiny signs as well as a way to bolster.
What do you got in mind?
Well, I mean, I really want Nuro to turn all their attention to the person who shot Yanni and use Tremble before me to reveal a otherworldly aspect and intimidate an NPC as if you rolled a 10+. Afterwards, their fear and mistrust of you knows no bounds.
Yeah, I think that like in place of a mastered technique, I think that this is perfectly appropriate. And I think, what does this look like to the person? Because they're a bit further away from you.
Yeah, I guess Nuro would kind of like lock eyes with them. They would have this kind of like I don't know, this pull kind of. I want them to be able to like see kind of like this darkness kind of settle over Nuro's face and the eyes kind of light up, and then maybe like right by their ear, like they're too far away, but they're like right by their ear. It's like, you have made a mistake.
I think what happens is that this person hears that right by their ear and they pivot, and they weren't ready, or more specifically, they weren't paying enough attention to notice this ground unsettling that Minh FANG did, and they take this step backwards and they roll back and they hit their head on the ground and they literally knock themselves out.
Great.
Perfect.
We are rolling to the top of the order, everybody.
Evade and observe.
Oh, he's in quick.
Attack, advance and attack.
Is there anyone near me right now? Like, is Banji and Nuro near me?
Yeah, you're sort of, you dash towards them, so you're not too far away.
Okay. I'll take evade and observe.
Defend and maneuver.
Georgie, you're up first.
Okay. All right. So I would like to kind of ready myself. That's a 5.
You can push your balance away. Did you say that you're pretty high on one thing?
Yeah, I am 1 away from determination. Which I suppose makes sense.
Yeah, push yourself to extreme determination.
Yeah, I'm gonna push myself to and I guess with I want to kind of ready myself kind of I mean, I've got like Banji next to me at this point here, so basically I just want to kind of ready myself to kind of be wherever I need to be for
Yeah.
else, if that makes sense. So I've taken care of Yanni, and I want to jump onto Banji's back, backpack style.
Perfect.
That's all right with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Captain Hana had yelled out Formation 4. One person knocked themselves out, one person is laughing maniacally and not moving, and a few other people are finding it too difficult to move with this with this disrupted ground, which is good, because this particular move that they were going to do, Jesse, had you not allowed this to happen, was called Overwhelm, which is they strike at every combatant in reach. All foes engaged with the group must mark 2, fatigue, or a condition of your choice. So they just get to just straight up do that and just launch them in.
I'm so sorry. There was another part to ready in which I can clear a fictionally appropriate status of a nearby character.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to jump onto Banji's back and just be like, thank you so much for helping me out there, Banji. We're going to get them. Don't you worry about that.
Thank you, Ewan.
Well, the statuses are more like a trapdoor
True.
or thing. So,
I appreciate it, though.
But yeah, I feel that you are like some degree of bolstered. Why don't you replenish a fatigue? I think that just gives you a little bit of extra zhuzh.
I don't want that.
Oh, okay. That's all right. I'll just get someone to punch you in the face. You can have it back again.
Cut that if you want.
So Captain Hana's order from the last round has failed, and she glares, and she begins to power up these flaming gauntlets. Ted, you might know what's coming next, but guess what? You get to go first, so it's fine.
Woo. So now that Nuro's on his back, he actually looks down at Striker, who just knocked her?
His.
Yeah, so Banji looks down at Striker, who's just actually been knocked out, and there is a sorrow there because he still has some sense of kinship for these people, even though he turned his back on them and ran away.
Striker's the fire arrow one. Yeah, not the fire knife one.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Yeah. So he feels sad about it, but then he can hear the roar of Hikaru's fire, and he's actually just going to run in and use Smash to destroy or destabilize something in the environment. So Banji would like to, I imagine whatever it is that Ignis is using has like pipes and stuff connected to shooting out. He wants to grab a pipe and just disable whatever it is he's got, this flamethrower.
I think that is a wonderful just visual of like smashing through. Have you rolled for this one yet?
I don't need to because I have Protector's Bird.
Protector's Bird.
Hey.
So
Pretend it is just a +10 and you do the thing.
So it succeeds.
It succeeds, absolutely. And I think that what happens is that Ignis like realizes very quickly that he's losing gas, like, or whatever it is that's fueling this thing. It's like, what? And Hikaru's flame, like Hikaru was like at the end of his breath, right? Like this was going to be a very, very bad thing for the dragon. But then all of a sudden this thing goes away, and with his last this absolute gout of blue flame washes over Ignis, and that in itself is painful. Like you hear him yell at how bad this is, but whatever he's holding explodes, and he launches so far away, comically far, like somewhere out into the desert.
Yeah.
So he is out of this fight.
Excellent.
You get Talon, who takes a couple of pot shot swipes at you, and he's decided to expend fatigue to do so. You're marking 2 fatigue in that process to just dart past him.
Cool.
Pyra is not great. I don't know if I've mentioned Pyra's the one with the flame stick staff type thing. She's not great at close quarters combat, but she's giving it a good old attempt. And she is just trying to pressure you, but she's not putting any real effort into it. Minh has the choice: 2 fatigue, a condition, or a shift of balance.
I will take a condition. I'm marking insecure, and I'm now full conditions. So if I get one more, I'm out.
Righto.
I think, yeah, Minh was sort of in his own head and firing all these rocks and just having someone right there all of a sudden with this staff that's got like fire on the end. It's this person, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. It's just, it's a shock. He just feels the heat and is just, that's a bit of a shock immediately. So he's just trying to avoid that. And that's where that condition comes, insecure, because he was very certain about where he was. And now, yeah, she's in the way. Or she's just there.
Tomo, as you're standing there, you know, readying yourself and making a really hard time, I think it's a really intricate dance that you're both doing, because you're actually both more nimble than you would expect for people of your size. And I see this whip sort of wrapped around your arm, which is beginning to burn. You are really feeling it as you're dancing and moving, but you're blocking other attacks that are coming through. And if anyone's watching, it looks gorgeous. And then all of a sudden you feel a release. And you take a few steps back as the whip has been cut in half. And there is a man with 2 swords standing there directly in front of you. And he says, "I didn't bring a drink, but hopefully this is a cool enough entrance." And you see Mari of the Mari family.
So wait, hold on. Have you Mario'd this guy? He's Mari?
He's Mari, well, they're all Mari.
The Mari family, every single person's called
They're all Mari, yep.
Okay. Goose Monkey Grandmaster.
Hey, you named him.
Yeah, that was their last name.
I said, what's this person's name? You're like, the Mari family. So that's
the
Mari.
family.
It's Mari Mari. I love that.
Mari Mari.
Mari. There we go. Yeah. I'm forcefully retconning Ash. They're not all called Mari. This person specifically is Mari Mari. Like Mario.
Technically, it's Mari Mari, Mari Mari, Mari Mari, Mari.
Oh my god.
But people refer to them lovingly as Mari Mari.
This man is Mari Mari. Listeners, ignore Ash. I am telling you right now, this is Mari Mari.
Look at me. I'm the GM now.
Look at me. I'm the Mari Mari now. Yes, and Mari has come in to bolster you.
Yeah, right. I was gonna. So I chose evade and observe. You know what? I think I'm gonna commit. Mm-hmm. I think seeing that the equation has changed a bit, I can take stock of the situation around me. I am going to move towards. I think I'm going to move towards connection. It's solidified in me now that these bunch of weirdos are my family, and I'm not letting anything happen to them.
Yeah, roll first. You still restore a fatigue regardless.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's not good. That is a 5.
Technically, you can shift your balance twice to make this. Like, technically, you shift it, and then as part of this move, you shift it again.
That's
all right. The next time that you're living up to your principles, so the next time you're using your principle instead of any of your other stats.
Yep.
You are not marking fatigue. You can just do it.
Okay, sounds good.
Excellent. Jesse, tell me what is your plan from here?
Okay, so I'm going to roll evade and observe, and I think Minh's seen this female soldier giving orders. Mm-hmm. It's like, you're in charge.
Yep.
So this is where his focus has suddenly gone. Hopefully my roll reflects this. With creativity, that's a +1. That's a 7.
Okay.
That's wonderful. So I'm going to remove a fatigue because I've rolled evade and observe. And because I have favoured, I'm going to take an additional basic move as well.
You can take a mastered as well, can't you, with a favour?
I can take a mastered, but I don't have any mastered evade and observes.
I see.
I'm going to bolster or hinder. So he sees this woman giving orders, and you said that she was sort of like starting to warm up these gauntlets or whatever that were on
Correct.
their hand. I think Minh sees this happening, and you said that the one with the staff in front of me wasn't too confident. So I'm just going to like go past them, run up, and whip his rope around this captain's neck and like pull them in and make them trapped.
Right.
Then, with my second maneuver, my second evade and observe from favoured, I am going to test their balance, and I'm gonna pull them right into me, and so I've got them, and I'm like, you need to decide very quickly what it is you actually want here, and I'm gonna pull them in, and I'm gonna ask that's me asking what their principle is, and they have to answer honestly.
Okay, you don't want to have a guess and try and shift it? Choice is yours.
Oh, okay.
So your choice is you can find out what it is, or you can have a shot at what it is.
So I just to be clear with you, Ash, in terms of what my intentions were, I was going to capture them and sort of like get everyone to stand down because I've got their captain, and if they keep fighting, then like, you know, I don't know. Minh wouldn't actually do it, but like I've got him and I'll kill him.
No, this actually works really, really well for what I had in mind as to what happens next. So you pull them in close and you say, what is it that you really stand for here? And she looks at you and says, victory at all costs. And she grabs onto your rope, and the flame in the gauntlet glows brighter and severs your rope where it is. She's marking 3 fatigue to just remove herself from trapped straight off the bat.
Wow.
And then she turns her other gauntlet behind her to where she knows Banji is standing and launches a fiery bolt. Now, Banji, you're very distracted with what you're doing. Mm-hmm. You've got enough nous about you to dodge out of the way. And then you see her flick her gauntlet back, which is something you know that she can do. And the fireball changes direction and hits Nuro on your back. Nuro, you're shifting your balance.
Well, that means I am unbalanced.
You are unbalanced.
I'm unbalanced.
To determination, right?
Choose one of the following. Give in or submit to your opposition.
I know they're fascist, but it's...
Give in or submit to your opposition. Lose control of yourself in a destructive and harmful way. Take an extreme action in the line with the principle, then flee.
I'm going to go with the second one.
I was sort of...
Lose control of yourself in a destructive and harmful way.
I was really hoping that you would say this because I have...
You've got something in mind?
I've got something in mind.
Fabulous. Okay, well, yeah, Nuro gets hit. I'm sure this is a shocking moment of everyone just being like, oh my god.
It's a decent hit too. It's one of those...
Like, I'm probably smoldering, like, I'm not moving. I'm on the ground. I fall off you. I fall off Banji's back. I'm on the ground. I'm not moving. What happens next, Ash?
In something that makes everyone pause what they're doing, dark shadows just erupt out of Nuro's body. And Nuro's making a sound that is an otherworldly scream. It's the only way to describe it. And as these shadows launch up and through, this squad of firebenders are looking in horror as these things, almost like hands, just reach up and grab them and launch. They just launch away somewhere into the desert. You don't even see where. Basically, after they get to a certain point, you hear them screaming at whatever this is. And all of a sudden, you can't hear them anymore. They are out there somewhere. But you are safe for the moment, and Nuro is passed out on the ground.
I think as this dark shadow launches away these people, and the one that I had as well,
Yeah.
I think my rope just gets ripped away from, like, the last of it rips away and also goes flying, and now Minh's, that is rope as well. He's just sort of, like, shocked at what he saw, and everyone, there's fire everywhere, Nuro's on the ground, these people just gone flying in every direction, and now we're all just sort of standing around this flaming mess, and he's just stunned.
Banji, get Nuro on the dragon.
Banji just sort of like, because the impact of Nuro getting hit would have sort of flung Banji forward as well, and then he saw this dark shadow erupt. He's just gonna crawl over to Nuro and like kind of cradle them and just start crying. He's just like weeping. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, we went to die. Please, I'm sorry.
Tomo's gonna... I can't carry Nuro for you, but I can carry you. And he's gonna lift up both of you and just start hurling you both towards the back of Hikaru.
I think Hikaru, like, collapsed after that last gout of flame and sees you walking towards with both Banji and Nuro, and, like, does his best to sort of roll onto his side from, like, where he's currently lying on the ground, so it's really easy to load them onto. He looks exhausted, but he knows what's at stake here.
Yeah. Minh runs and just sort of grabs Yanni by her good hand and pulls her up.
You will probably have to punch through some ice.
Yeah. He'll sort of see this ice shell, and he just sort of... you said that she got, like, behind some rocks?
I think that Mari sort of comes over and he helps, and he sees that she's both burned her hands and this arrow is through it. Mm-hmm. And he sort of looks at her and she's looking like it's shaking. She's almost going into shock. And he says, I can help her. If she stays here, I can take her back to...
Yeah.
The ice will help. This will help heal this.
I sort of look at him and I nod. I'm like, yes. And I look down at Yanni and Yanni, I am so sorry.
Yanni sort of looks up and she just says,
you're a liability now. You learn to fight, or you have to stay here. Find us at a marshal or something. But this is too dangerous for you.
Yanni was about to say something, and the look on her face drops. Move one back from heritage.
I pull out some money and I just hand it to Mari, and I'm like, whatever it takes, take care of her for now. And I just get to Hikaru and I can see that these guys are all sort of like out of it and getting out of there. I just got to Hikaru. He's like, all right, big guy, I know you hate me, but let's mosey. And he just sort of jumps on his head where Banji would usually sit, and he's sort of like, yeah, kicks his feet, and he's, yes, let's mosey.
Hikaru doesn't argue. Hikaru leaps into the air, not at the speed that he's done previously, but at the best speed that he's capable at. And you begin to go somewhere, anywhere that isn't here right now. Do we just want to take a quick pause, everybody? And just
Jeez. What was Yanni going to say?
Oh, you won't know?
I don't really know. It's sadder this way if you don't.
I'm so sorry I made that choice for everyone, but Ash was like, hey, I can fix her if you leave her here. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. No, I think it's good. I think it's good that she stays behind. I wouldn't have called her a liability.
You could have said bye nicely.
I needed to say whatever I said to keep her there. I think Minh is just like, you just had to stay. Like,
You have
whatever
5 conditions, Mark.
I have 5 conditions. I have 4 fatigue. He's just like,
A mess.
Understandable.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It is heartbreaking.
yeah. Oh, he's not happy about it. He's pretty upset. But because he does like Yanni, he just hides it.
We see Hikaru take off slower than we expect. And all of a sudden, the direction that he was heading changes as Minfang decides where he's going. We look down as Mari is trying to attend to the arrow still sticking out of Yanni's hand. And Yanni silently watches the team fly away. Jesse,
Yes.
where are you going?
I'm going home.
Right, so you're going to...
So we take off from Misty Springs and we're going like a northwest direction. And if you're picturing the map of Avatar, imagine where you think Ba Sing Se is. There's a set of mountains directly south of Ba Sing Se, then there's a river, and then there's some mountains just on the other side. And I think in those mountains is Minh, is the Fang family home.
I see.
The historical, like, where the Fangs live, usually. Where he escaped from as a kid. Or escaped is a strong word, but like where he ran away from to the north. That's where he's taking us.
The place where, like, 10 episodes ago I said, yes, you should go back and visit the family home. That one? Yeah, perfect. And the one that Ash did not actually prepare for in any of all the places that you could go right now. This was not what I thought.
So
as the sun is rising, I feel it's there you go, a bit of picturesque. The trees, there's a couple of beautiful leaves just falling down on the property as the sun comes up, and it shows this beautifully hold on, I'm gonna dial that right back. Jesse, you say things. Go.
Okay. So yes, we fly down. It's very early in the morning. I think, like, when it's like it's the wrong kind of early where you're like, I'm awake too early, and the sun is like barely up. It's like that purple
Some
sky.
stars are still in the sky.
Yeah, you're like, oh, it's too early. I think it's like that time, and you see like a modest family estate. There's one big building which is in line with sort of traditional Earth Kingdom style, like the peaked curved roofs that sort of flare out to the side and make like an awning over like long polished wooden decks. And there's sort of like a flowing stone staircase leading down from this big family estate area down into like the main sort of trade road. And to the left of the estate there is like a family graveyard with like a bunch of statues of like different people, and then on the other side there's like a big sort of cave with a lake out the front with like beautiful trees and things just sort of blowing lightly in the wind.
Where could Hikaru land?
I was thinking of making him go and hide in the cave, in the family, like just in the family cave thing.
The family cave.
Yeah, the family cave.
Just, the family cave.
Some people have, some people have a family farm. Some people have the family mansion, a family stream, the family dams just up the way. This is the family orchid. Now, just up past that, the family cave.
I think, they're earthbenders. They found
They love caves.
They love caves. There's it's just a small little spiritual cave.
Nice.
That's
Big enough to fit a dragon.
yeah, and that he can hide from like prying eyes, because like only the fangs are allowed in the caves. So I think he's like, all right, buddy, just in that big gaping hole there. You like caves. You've been in them so much.
There's a combination between I hate you and I have no choice is the noise that Hikaru makes. And I don't know what that noise is, but clearly that is the
edit it in there. Yeah.
And very, very sluggishly crawls in. And almost by the time you've turned around, you hear that dragon snoring that you've heard before.
Yeah. I look back and see everyone and see how they're doing.
Welcome to my cave.
And sort of realize that I didn't really ask for anyone if they were fine. I just sort of hopped on. I think like the fear of the flying has sort of like, he didn't realize he was scared because he had to do something. And now he's like, oh, I didn't talk to anyone. I haven't said a word. I haven't even looked back to see if they're on the dragon still. I can't hear, like I haven't been listening to anything if they've been talking to me.
Well, just to set the scene, I think Nuro's still out. I don't see Nuro being awake in any way, shape, or form.
Very injured.
I feel Banji is still...
Banji would still be cradling Nuro and just sort of stroking their face and apologizing. And like, I think the sobbing has probably stopped now, but is just very quietly like...
Damn bloodshot eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, and feeling very conflicted about both what's currently happening, and he also just saw his previous family just get thrown into the desert and presumably maybe died. I mean, he's kind of like...
In all directions too.
Yeah.
They're not together anymore.
Yeah, no, they split up like the Dragon Balls. Like they got flung into the air.
Yeah, so he's not doing well. He's literally just almost catatonic, just stroking Nero's face and apologizing.
I picture like almost like, because there was so much fire and things, there was probably a lot of like ash and things like, so these tears create a really, really striking difference to Banji's normal composure.
Some great art right there.
If only we had an artist.
Tomo's probably trying to keep his head in the present because this whole night has just reminded him of a very similar event many times ago. So I think he's barely also holding on and trying to do his best to be stoic.
Well, I feel that you saw, I don't think we addressed this last episode, but I think you saw that everything Nuro saw, like that all happened for both of you at once. So like that big old flashback, even though it was very, very short, I don't think that was just Nuro going to your memories. I think you both experienced that. So yeah, I mean, you can tell me that that's not the case, but that's how I picture it.
I didn't know it worked that way.
Well, I mean, we can establish that now.
Yeah, is this like, is it just that this was sort of that whole like immediate combat, or is it just, are you properly troubled?
So Tomo also relived everything.
Well, that's how I thought it was, but
Yeah,
Is that how you felt it was? Or
pretty much.
yeah?
I think.
Okay,
yeah.
great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're seeing Banji cradling Nuro crying.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
how many more conditions can you mark?
Where are my dice?
Right there.
That's how I'm feeling.
That's how.
I have to beat that.
Oh my god. Stoic. Like on the surface, he is just like, he nods to Minh Fang.
It's another Tuesday.
But obviously inside it is a crumbling fortress. Basically, is like kind of everything he's built up is just it's all on the verge of evaporating again.
Yeah. I think Minh, like, finally that shell shock of, like, I haven't done anything hits him, and he's like, all right. And he hops down, Hikaru lets go of the horns and sort of lazily slumps off and sort of loses
Jelly
his...
legs.
Yeah, like jelly legs. He's like, I love the ground.
You know what?
I
I think I am going to place a hand on... I think I'm going to place a hand on Banji and just say to him, it's not your fault. You did everything you could. And that's my attempt at guiding and comfort.
What a mirror to what Nuro has said before. Yeah, roll guide and comfort.
Oh,
Nice.
Out. Call myself there.
So what do I do with guide and comfort?
oh, so that was a 10, everyone, by the way.
Yeah, that was, yeah. It was,
So on a 10 with guide and comfort. So you've got a choice. You can embrace the guidance and clear a condition or two fatigue, and you ask one question honestly. Alternatively, you can shut Tomo down and he gets to inflict a condition on you and you shift his balance. On a 10 plus, Tomo, if they do embrace your guidance and comfort, you can shift their balance one way or another if you need.
I'm just going to clear afraid because the danger is seemingly past, at least for now. And knowing that he felt Tomo kind of pick him and Nuro up and carry them to the dragon, and he has seen that Tomo's still here and he's trying and he's protecting, even though like Banji's very much in his feelings right now, but he's still aware that someone is keeping watch. Someone is like, you know, helping Hikaru. Someone's doing that. So he's going to clear afraid because he's like, oh, I'm not actually alone in this.
you're not alone.
I'm still not alone. Like they're still with me, even though like he knows that everyone heard them saying Banji, Banji, Banji. So he's like, oh, they knew that these guys were coming for me.
Yeah.
And they're still here.
Yeah, that's something I hadn't really considered from Banji's perspective. They're like, oh, I am to blame for this.
Yeah. Banji very much feels like he's to blame for it, but his friends are still here.
What question are you asking of Tomo?
He has to answer honestly.
This is why Lucas never guides and comforts.
Oh, actually, I put the bow in your hole. Yeah.
That was a mixed success.
Oh, okay.
No, it still counts. We just forgot it.
Oh, yeah.
We did. We just forgot.
Tricky Lucas. Making me forget.
What do I want to ask Tomo? Can I have a minute to think about it?
Pig.
Yeah, you can. Tomo, just while he's thinking, do you want to shift his balance at all?
Do you want your balance shifted, buddy?
It's up to you.
That's up to you.
What are you on?
I'm on +1 to trust.
Like that's Ted's center.
Oh, my center is 0.
Plus one trust.
So my center is 0, but I'm shifted 1 towards trust.
You know, I think I like it that way.
I think your center was meant to...
It shifted one towards...
Because when we were on Natsua Island and you lost control, it went 1 to trust.
Yeah, but then it shifted back somehow.
No, that's your center. Your center, you have to go the opposite direction. So you would have had to lose control of self-reliance for your center to go back to
Back
0,
to
0.
0. So like what you've got circled there is your center.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's your new center after you lost.
Yeah, so you are currently center on +1 trust.
Okay, in which case I would be
Plus
shifted
2 trust.
2, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I also had shifted away from center earlier in this episode.
All right, so in that case, I will take you back the other way. So you're, what's your other condition?
Self-reliance.
Yeah, I'm going to try to give you some self-confidence back.
Well, because that's the thing. If you're saying it's not my fault, you would be shifting me towards trust because you're like,
It would be. Yeah, so I don't.
Although it could be that like you said, Banji, you did what you could.
Yeah.
You did
You did what you
everything
could,
right.
yeah.
So like, I think it.
I
could
want him to
also
feel
be-
strong. I want you to feel steady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can still do this.
And Georgie, don't forget that Nuro is shifting their balance.
Yeah, I am now +1 towards determination is my new center.
And we will address that when Georgie arises. Ted, do you have this question?
Whatever that is.
yes. So Banji sort of looks up. Tears have carved a path through the soot and ash on his face. And he just looks up at Tomo and is like, Tomo, why are you still here? Why are you still with us? I clearly just keep putting us all in danger. Why are you still with me?
Have to answer.
This is a big episode. Poor old Jesse's got a lot of editing to do.
That's fine. That's future me's problem. Sucker.
I am not usually one to stick around people like you. but you are family to me now. And especially after last night, there's nowhere else I'd rather be.
Are you standing above Banji?
No, I think I'd probably be like sort of just gently lowering myself this whole time. Because, like, you know, this is comforting. Because if I'm standing above you, I'd be like quite looming.
Yeah. Banji's going to reach out for a hug and try and hug you.
Yeah, I am going to lean forward just ever so slightly.
Nice. Banji will embrace you. So he's kind of holding Nuro in one arm, and then he just sort of reaches forward and pulls you into a hug. Like a sort of three-way hug, kind of.
I think we see Sooty.
And Sooty, I was going
like,
to say.
Sooty creates like a little web around everybody just and like pulls it tight. Like,
Aww.
And Sooty's like, wait, over to Minh. Like, come on. Come on, buddy.
God, you guys read my mind. Like, I was exactly.
I don't know. I think Min's just sort of like looking at it, and he wants to, but I think he's putting on like the brave face. Right, we got to do stuff, sort of thing. It's really actually. I think we see this really awkward moment from Minh. He's sort of standing there. He really wants to go over, but he just doesn't, and he just goes over. He's like, "All right, is Nuro okay? Are we all okay? Is anyone really hurt?"
Minh Fang, do you have any medicine?
I do. That's why I'm asking.
Nuro is not okay.
Yeah, Banji just sort of like shakes himself after the hug and man, we need to get Nuro somewhere safe where they can rest and does anybody here, can they help?
Yes, I can get you some medicine. I just need to sneak inside.
you hear a voice from behind you say, "What is it you are all doing here in the Fang family cave? You are... Master Minh, you have returned."
It slowly, like, Min sort of, like, freezes and, like, his arms are out in a ridiculous pose and he sort of turns on his feet and turns around. I need to find a name. Do you have a name?
I do.
Wonderful. What's the name?
His name is Fong.
Fong. Hello, Fong. I'm back.
Minh Fang, you are in so much trouble!
Yeah. The Book of War Remains is Lucas Lee as Tomo, Georgie Hazel as Nuro, Ted Darling as Banji, myself, Jesse Thomas as Minh Fang, and Ash Cooper as our Grandmaster of the White Lotus. Our theme song and outro, The Book of War Remains, is by Matt Harrison, and additional sound and music are from zapsplat.com. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram just by searching The Book of War Podcast. We have a Facebook group where you can chat to us, share memes, all sorts of stuff. And our Instagram also has constant live updates just telling you what we're doing and where we're about. We're also on Twitter, which just updates you immediately when a new episode is out, but most of your podcast apps do that already. And also it's called X now, so I don't know what's going on there. Don't know what to... If you want to support the show, we'd love to have you over on our Patreon. A big thank you to Natsuki P and Peter Erdman for subscribing to the show. We genuinely, truly appreciate your support. It means that we can bring you more content faster. And a little sneak peek, if you want to know what you get on the Patreon, you get Written in Flames, which is our pilot arc mini sort of series which we did before the show so we could learn the game. You get our second podcast, Reading the Book of War, which is like a director's commentary look at the show, what we do behind the scenes and what we're feeling in the room and what's happening. And also I've started doing these little blooper reels as well, so taking stuff that I take out of the main show that just isn't good or is like jokes that we don't need or whatever. I've started taking that out and putting that in another track, so you'll get those eventually soon too. And also Ted will be running a Halloween one-shot, so it's very exciting. He's very nervous, but he's going to do a great job, and with the support of our patrons, I'm sure it's going to be a great game. here at the Book of War, we are affiliated with Arkenforge. Arkenforge is a tabletop platform built for Windows and Mac, and it provides a plug-and-play solution to run your games in person on a TV or projector. You can use Arkenforge to build your own fully animated maps or import your own maps and tokens. You can then output these to your players with a fog of war and customizable ambient audio, which is my favorite part of the whole software, by the way, just putting that out there. You can also export any of these maps you make in Arkenforge to any virtual tabletop. So just because you're using Arkenforge doesn't mean you have to stay there. You can use it with Roll20. You can export those maps and put them in other VTTs if you want. It's a one-time purchase with no subscription and can be used fully online. And use our offer code, the Book of War, all one word, to get $5 off either the Arkenforge Fantasy Starter Pack or the Arkenforge Sci-Fi Starter Pack. Next episode will be out on September the 23rd, so we will see you then. Water's all the way over there now. That's where water is.
You're not
I
allowed
don't think
water.
you're allowed anymore.
It's empty.
Don't follow me drinking.
It's funny because I was about to start and I saw this coming. I'm like, no, I can't. I gotta wait.
Got him.
Roll the music.
I need to bring this down for a second. This is actually a rough scene I'm about to do. Whew. So chapters 6 and 7. No,